Hello, everyone. Welcome to COSA 1 Computer Info Competency, second 8 weeks. I'm Professor Almeida, and I will be your instructor for the class. Coming up in this video, I'm going to show you what to expect and what is expected of you so that you can be successful in your first week. I'll show you how to get into our one-stop shop called Canvas and where and how to get support in this class. If you need a break, you do have the pause button. Otherwise, let's go ahead and dive right in. As you can see here, I'm on the Long Beach City College website at lbcc.edu. To get started, click or tap on the Viking portal. You will need your student ID number and your Viking portal password. For my Monday, Wednesday folks, you will also need your student ID number and Viking portal password to get into the classroom computers. If you don't remember your Viking portal password, or if you cannot log into the classroom computers, you will need to reset your password. Don't try to guess your password. Otherwise, if you guess one too many times, you'll end up locked out of the system, and then you're going to have to contact the Student Technology Help Desk. I'll tell you more about the Student Tech Help Desk later on in this video, but especially for my Monday, Wednesday folks, you really don't want to get locked out of the Viking portal early on into class and then end up missing important information. So make sure you take care of whatever issues you have with the Viking portal beforehand, ideally. Otherwise, you do have the Student Technology Help Desk to assist you. So this is the Viking portal, and again, we're using this one-stop shop called Canvas. Let's go ahead and take a look here. This is the Canvas dashboard, and for the second 8 weeks, I have two COSA 1 sections, 73314, that is my Monday, Wednesday class. It meets from 8 a.m. to 10:10 a.m. in M216. And then there's 73326, that is my online asynchronous section. There are no scheduled class meetings. Now, both COSA 1 sections meet for the second 8 weeks, which runs from October 20th through December 14th. Now, if your Canvas dashboard doesn't look anything like this, maybe it looks like this instead, it might be hard to find our COSA 1 class. The easiest thing to do is to click on the three-dot menu in the upper right here and choose Card View. Now, if you're new to Canvas, let me give you a quick tour. We'll start here with Account. This is where you can set your profile and notification settings. Starting on the first day of our class, I will be communicating primarily through Canvas, so you want to make sure that you are getting notifications for our class, especially with the announcements. If you need to contact me about something, the best and easiest way to do that is through the Canvas inbox. I prefer the Canvas inbox over email because when you send me a message, that message will include your name, the class, COSA 1, and your section. So if you need to reach me, the best and easiest way to do that is through the Canvas inbox. And as you can see here, I do teach a lot of sections. I do ask that you allow up to 24 to 36 hours for me to get back to you. And with that, let's go ahead and get into our COSA 1 class. Whether you are in my Monday, Wednesday, or online section, you can see that the Canvas class is set up the same way. Again, this is COSA 1 Computer Info Competency. I'm Professor Almeida, and you can learn more about me by visiting my website at jpalmeida.com. Again, the best and easiest way to reach me is through the Canvas inbox, and I do ask that you allow 24 to 36 hours for a reply. The second 8 weeks runs from Monday, October 20th through December 14th, Sunday, December 14th. My student office hours are a way for you to connect with me about the class and the materials. For fall 2025, I'm available in person Monday afternoons, 1:30 to 3:30 p.m. in M229. That is the COS Computer Lab. Thursdays, I am in the Canvas course chat from 9 until noon Pacific time. You can use this chat space to talk amongst yourselves, but usually Thursday mornings, I will be here in the chat and I'll be available to take questions. Outside of my student office hours, again, you want to reach out to me through the Canvas inbox. As an added bonus, during my student office hours, if you send me a message in the Canvas inbox, I'll be more likely responding to you right away than outside of student office hours. So just keep that in mind. So again, Thursdays, I'm in the Canvas course chat, 9 until noon Pacific time. Now for this video, I'm going to show you how to get started, and we'll follow these 4 bullet points. For my Monday, Wednesday folks in 73314, we will go over this together on the first day of class. For my online folks, it is up to you to follow these bullet points to get started. Remember, for 73326, there are no scheduled class meetings, so it is entirely your responsibility to get started and get settled in. And we want to begin with the course syllabus. The syllabus is your guide to this class and what to expect. It's very important that you read this document and refer to it throughout the 8 weeks we have together. You'll see information about the course, what is required of you, especially for those of you taking the class online, the digital access required for this class, and we'll talk about SimNet a little bit later, important dates, and the dates are different between my COSA 1 sections, so be sure to look at your syllabus. How to get support, which we will talk about later on in this video, class decorum, attendance drops and withdrawal policies, the different activities and how they work, due dates and grading, academic integrity, certificate information, what you're going to get out of this class, online etiquette, and then finally you have the schedule on the last page. And as you can see here, for our first week, we will be going over Windows 11 and Office Essential Skills. You will also see the due dates here from week to week. I want you to take the due dates you see here and plug them into your personal calendar. And as a matter of fact, that is the second bullet point here. Plug all due dates from the syllabus into your calendar. Again, read and refer to this document as needed. All right, next up, registering with SimNet. You'll see the link to the left here, McGraw-Hill SimNet, and you want to make sure when you register with SimNet, you choose the right COSA 1 section, 73314 if you're in my Monday, Wednesday, 73326 if you are taking the class online. And you will see that you have 3 options. The third option you don't see here, but I'll get to that in a moment. The easiest way to purchase access to SimNet is directly here by buying online. Now for COSA 1, SimNet is $57 plus tax. You can go to the bookstore and buy an access card, which will be more than $57 plus tax. You scratch off the card and then you enter the code into this box here. The last option, if for whatever reason you are not able to pay for SimNet right away, you can sign up for 14 days of courtesy access, which will give you enough time to complete the first 2 weeks of assignments. I strongly suggest that you sign up for the courtesy access starting on the first day of class and not beforehand, because the clock will start running once you choose courtesy access. And then lastly, I have a little icebreaker where you can go and introduce yourself. This is what the thread looks like. And once you have done these 4 things, we are ready to get started. So you can click on modules here or go to the modules link. All right, so how are we doing? If you need a break, you do have that pause button. Otherwise, we'll go ahead and continue. All right, so let's get into what's expected for your first week. And this is what your modules look like, okay, from week to week. I'll talk about campus resources a little bit later in this video, but here we go. Here's week 1. Now, weeks 1 and 2 will open together on Monday, October 20th, the first day of our second 8-week session. You can see that you have 3 assignments here: Windows 11 training, Office Essential Skills training, and then a quiz for Windows and Office Essential Skills. Start here with the Windows and Office overview page because it contains some important information. You'll also see what you will be getting out of Windows and Office Essential Skills. And then finally, you have your action items discussing the 3 assignments you have. As you can see here, the Windows and Office Essential Skills training sims are a participation requirement of everyone. I need to make sure that you are really interested in COSA 1, especially since my online section has a wait list. And I also want to see that you are active in the class by registering with SimNet and completing the assignments. Your Windows and Office Essential Skills training sims are due on Friday, October 24th, along with your quiz. If you don't turn in both training sims on time, I'm going to assume that you're no longer interested in the class, and unfortunately, you will be dropped so that I can make room for others. And as you can see in the syllabus, there isn't a whole lot of time for the deadline to add and drop. So it's very important that you participate if you really are interested in my class. So make sure that you get your Windows 11 training and your Office Essential Skills training sims turned in on time, especially since training sim scores freeze on the due date and you cannot go back for late credit as discussed in the syllabus. And then you also have your quiz. We'll talk about that in a moment. So what I'd like to do is show you what the Windows 11 training sim looks like. And this is also true for the Office Essential Skills training sim. Your goal for the training sims is to fill this progress meter all the way to 100%. You can think of these training sims as participation, which is another reason why these sims need to be turned in on time and you cannot go back for late credit. These are the easiest points to get, and you certainly don't want to leave easy points on the table. Again, your goal here is to fill the progress meter to 100%. These training sims also double as your textbook. Let's go ahead and take a look here at changing document properties as an example. So you can see that you have your reading material here, but we learn by doing, and you'll see that there are 3 different modes: show me, guide me, and let me try. Let's start with show me. In show me, you sit back and watch the video.
The file properties of a file include information such as the file location.
Okay, so you get the idea. Now in guide me, you have step-by-step assistance here. So they're telling you here to click the see more button. Well, I don't know where the see more button is. I can show a hint and it will point out the see more button for me. And you can see here, here's the tooltip. And then from there, I can move on to the next step where, again, it's essentially guiding me. Click the properties. Okay, what if I don't know where properties is? Again, I can show the hint. Let's say you already know how to do this, and this is where let me try comes in. Now, this is how you actually earn points. And if you get stuck with let me try, you do have show me and guide me. You can also show hints here. Okay, so let's go ahead and complete this. So I'll go ahead and set this to read only. And by the way, I want to also point out something else. The quiz is a lot like let me try. The difference here is that I can click anywhere else in the simulation and do different things. And let's say oh, okay, that's strange. It actually took it. Well, let me go ahead and refresh this just to demonstrate. So in this training sim, I can go and click on different things. I can play around with this, and I have the freedom to get things wrong, as you can see here. And I can do that as many times as I want until I get it right. That is not the case with the quiz. With the quiz, you only get so many attempts, and you also cannot get any hints on the quiz. Okay, let me go ahead and complete, whoops. Let me go ahead and you can see how I can just keep messing up. Let me go ahead and complete this task here. All right, I'll check read only, and then I'll go ahead and click OK. So you can see that I've done this correctly. You can see the check mark for let me try. And if I exit out of the training sim, you'll see my progress here. I'm now 4% of the way through. So again, your goal here is to fill this progress meter all the way to 100%. You can see that I have this check mark here. By the way, don't check your Canvas gradebook while you're working on a training sim, because the sim scores sync automatically, and if you're only 4% of the way through, your Canvas gradebook is going to show 4% and you're going to think you're failing. Okay, so wait until you finish your training sim before checking your Canvas gradebook. And you can check your Canvas gradebook as a way to confirm that you've completed assignments. All right, so with that, I hope that these training sims make sense, and as I mentioned, if you get stuck, you always have show me and guide me. With the quiz, you don't want to start the quiz until you have some time blocked off to get it done, because once you start the quiz, you cannot go back. If you exit out of the quiz early, whatever points you had up until that moment, that will be your final score, and you only get so many attempts at a quiz. Okay, so just be mindful of that. Don't start the quiz until you're absolutely ready, and you'll see that there's a screen where you have to check the box, so you can't say you didn't know. All right, I want to finish off this video by showing you the different ways to get support, and I encourage you to utilize these resources throughout your 8 weeks. So if we go back to the course, the class modules page, if we go back to the modules page here, and you'll see the welcome module, and here's the page, campus resources. By the way, you'll also find this information on the second page of the syllabus. Okay, we'll first start with COS tech support. You can click on this link and you'll also see COS tech support over here to the left as one of your nav links. These are the hours for the COS computer labs at LAC and TTC. And as I mentioned earlier, I'm typically in M229 Monday afternoons for student office hours. If you scroll further down, you'll see how to reach out to our instructional assistants. If you need to get help with the Viking portal, or if you need help with installing Microsoft 365, which I will discuss in a future announcement video, you can talk to the Student Technology Help Desk. They're on the second floor of the library. Here's their contact information. Now, for those of you taking the online COSA 1 class, you definitely want to check out these resources. And then finally, if you need to get tutoring for COSA 1, that is done through the Multidisciplinary Success Centers. If you go to check the schedule, you'll see the tutor availability. So here's LAC, and if I scroll on down, you'll see COSA 1 here. We'll switch over to online, and then you'll see COSA 1 here as well. TTC, there is someone available for COSA 1 at TTC. These hours do change, so make sure you check back with the schedule. And that is pretty much it for your first week. So with that, welcome aboard to COSA 1. Let's make sure that we get settled in. We complete our 3 assignments on time. Good luck out there. And again, welcome aboard. Let's have a good 8 weeks together, and I will see you around. Thanks for watching.